So who is your enemy? Who is our enemy? There's a saying that goes, the courage of your enemy does you honor. Why? Why do you think the courage of your enemy does you honor? You have to find out who your enemy is in order for you to understand. How is it possible? Now, let me talk to you about who you think your enemy is. You think your enemy, specifically the urban community, you think your enemy is the guy in the next hood. There's said to be some type of 100 days of killing in South Central Los Angeles going on between two gangs because you think that's your enemy. There's reported killings in Chicago all the time because you think that the guy over on the next street is your enemy. And all in these urban communities, you think that somebody in the next hood is your enemy. Well, what happens when you think that? You prepare for him. You know, say your enemy is Tbone. And so you and your crew prepare for Tbone. How you going to get Tbone? Well, he goes to his mother's house around this time. He goes to this club around that time. We'll just hide in the bushes and we'll shoot him from there. Or we'll wait for him to come out the club and we'll get him there. It's easy to get Tbone because Tbone is accessible to you. He's right there. So it doesn't really take much thought. It doesn't really take anything in depth to get Tbone when he's right next door to you. You can just grab him real quick. But you think Tbone is your enemy. And because you think the guy in the next hood is your enemy and he's so easily accessible, what happens to us as a people is that we become dumbed down. Oh, you become dumbed down because it doesn't take anything for you to figure out your enemy because he's right next door. Tbone is not your enemy. The Blood, the Crip is not your enemy. The Vice Lord, the Black P Stones, and all the other gangs in our urban communities, they're not your enemy. But your real enemy is excited and ecstatic because that's what you believe. You know why? Because you'll really never have access to getting your real enemy. You know why? Because in order for you to have access to your real enemy, you have to study him. You have to master him. You have to know how he thinks, how he operates, how he maneuvers. And that takes some knowledge. People all often wonder why it is that I appear to be a very, very peaceful person. I am. Why? Why do I not exhibit this exterior of some tough killer? Why? Because I'm really studying my enemy. I could tell you're really not studying your enemy because of that exterior of yours. I could tell that you're not really qualified to deal with the real enemy because of that exterior of yours and because of that anger for someone who looks just like you. You know why? Because the real enemy will detect you miles away and you will never have any access to him ever, because you can't beat him with that exterior. He's not intimidated nor worried about what you think real power is. This enemy has to be studied. This is why the statement have so much meaning to it. The courage of your enemy does you honor, because no matter the height of your enemy, no matter how intellectual this enemy might be, in order for you to combat that enemy, you have to be as equally knowledgeable as he, intelligent as he. So what does it make you do? It makes you grow. It makes you become a thinker. It makes you wise because you're studying your enemy. Now, give you a perfect illustration. I would rather deal with a white man that has intellect than deal with a white man that's ignorant. My father told me this, and he explained to me why. My father, Mel Taylor, said because the white man with intellect, albeit he might be doing some wrong things to you, but if he has intellect, you may be able to reason with him. But you have no chance reasoning with a fellow who's ignorant. He has no understanding. So I'd rather deal with an individual that has wronged me with some type of intelligence, because I can reason with him that what he is doing is unjust. But do you think your enemy is Bam Bam? Is Kurt, the guy next door? You've become dumbed down because who you think your enemy is doesn't give you any honor. It doesn't challenge you to grow. It doesn't challenge you to reason and think and read and learn his ways. Because in order for you to be able to reason with your enemy, you have to be able to think like him, operate and understand how he operates and understand how he moves. Because if you present yourself to him like you do the man in your community, the brother in your neighborhood or in the next neighborhood, if you try to deal with your real enemy like that, he will crush you. You won't even get 100 feet, 1,000 feet to even have access to him, because you don't know how he moves. And he'll detect you and see you coming miles away. So what we've done, if we have built a generation of dumbed down males. Dumbed down. Because you refuse to do the hard work to really have access to reasoning with your real enemy. And so, you get a gun, and you're full of this anger and rage against Johnny in the next neighborhood. And all of your frustrations are taken out on him. But you are hard. You are a G. You are a soldier. You're a joke when it comes down to the real enemy. You don't even move him. You don't know him enough to move him. I'm probably a bigger threat to that fella than you will ever be. Because I'm not going to allow violence in me to keep me from thinking. Because that's what violence does. Keeps you from thinking, being able to outwit, outsmart, outthink your real enemy. And you'll never have a chance. But they will continue to allow you to promote this idea and this image that you are hard, that you are tough against somebody that's accessible to you. You can just walk 3 blocks over and go kill him if that's what you want to do. But you're tough. That's dumb. For whatever your reasons are, I cannot hate my brother. I love all of you. Yes, we've been struggling. Yes, there's pain. Yes, the amount of anguish is overbearing. But if you really want to do something about it, if you really, really want to do something about it, and if you're really serious, I'll be able to see it in your disposition. But I don't. Because everybody is walking around influenced by the music of being hard to Johnny that's 2 streets over. You're really laughable. You have guns to go take over somebody's neighborhood. But the real enemy has power to take over people's countries. But you think you're hard. I know when an individual is studying their real enemy. And they're studying him and learning his ways to reason with him. And I must say it, they are an enemy because of the unjust laws. And when you have unjust laws in place, I deem you an enemy of my people. Until I could reason with you in the hopes that through reasoning, you and I can come to an understanding. Because as long as I study you, I know that I have to outwit you, outthink you, outsmart you. I just can't be equal to you, even though in the process of me studying you, I'm learning about you. I must be sharper than you. And the only way I can be sharper than you is not allow the poisons of your injustice to make me like you in that capacity. That will make us greater. Please be free and feel free to go to my website, gorgeousstraight.com. I have product on there that will enhance you, that will bless you. I have interviews on there that will bless you. Just a little bit to stir our communities so that you understand that while you are projecting this tough image, you're hard and you're a killer. You're a killer to Johnny 2 doors down. That doesn't take any thinking capacity to get Johnny. but you're really, really scared of the real enemy. Not me. And that's why I am poised and calm. Because when you see a black man poised and calm and not projecting any violence, you better be aware and rest assured he's studying his enemy. Gorgeous Stray. Have a wonderful